Hello, y'all. Some people have quit before life even gets hard. And it's not because they're weak, but nobody taught them to activate their discipline when motivation had just disappeared. So if you're trying to get your mind back, you want your body back in shape, or just need some life skills, hey, you come to the right place. My name is LarryMotivates. Let's work. Now, today what we're going to talk about is how discipline will take you further than your talent. Hands down, I've been through things in life. Discipline is going to take you further than your talent will. Now, there are a lot of talented people who never become successful. Why is that? Because talent without discipline will eventually help you lose your consistency. And so the title of this message is called "Discipline Will Take You Further Than Your Talent." Boy, oh boy, that is exemplary right there. A lot of talented people will never become successful. And why is that? It's because talent without discipline uh, lets you lose consistency. Consistency is key to everything. Like, yeah, you can be talented, but if you're not consistent with it, if you're not always using it, if there's no training going on, eventually that you're gonna be it's gonna be a lull. You won't be there anymore. It's not gonna be perceived as, oh, like you just be perceived as somebody that's talented but never really got successful, right? And we all get to see it. That person that was in high school that was really good at basketball, and we thought they could make pro. They didn't reach the heights that we thought that they could. Or that person that was really good at speaking, who could have did their own thing, but now that, and it's not the hard on them, but now they just they're working like their little sales job or whatever it is, but they could be reaching higher, whatever it might be. We all get to see people who are really talented, but since they're not utilizing their gift that God's given them, they haven't reached that height because they're not consistently working on that. Discipline is a real superpower. Now, let's kind of get to my first point. So, first, motivation is temporary. One of the biggest mistakes people make is that they keep depending on motivation. But motivation is like is an energy that is transferred. It's a feeling, and we all know about feelings. Feelings always change. Energy can be displaced, but your routine is your discipline. Is how often you can keep doing something regardless of what's going on in your life. Your discipline keeps you moving forward. Your motivation is like your fuel, right? But we run out of fuel. But your consistently let is your routine. Like, okay, I'm gonna get this done regardless of how I'm feeling. That discipline is gonna keep you there, right? Motivation feels good, but motivation disappears. Discipline what keeps you moving when you don't feel inspired. I mean, there's been plenty of times, especially like when I was first starting off. A perfect example. When I was a rep at Best Buy. This is about 2 years ago. And I knew every day that I would just come in. I'm gonna come in with a smile, and then I would put my best foot forward. And some days I didn't feel like it, but I had a goal in mind. I was like, you know what, this place right here is just gonna be temporary. But I know if I just go through the steps, hey, make sure that I'm asking customers these questions, make sure that I'm covering all of these steps, and that I'm doing it on a consistent basis. I gotta do this every day. That I'm gonna be one of the top. And my first month, I think I was like top three, top four, in the store, whatever. And then on the Verizon side, I was top in the market, and that was because I knew that I was talented with the mouthpiece, but I had to be consistent because sometimes you had down days, you had up days. But I was consistent every day, and some days I didn't feel like it, but I had a goal in mind. Like, okay, I can reach higher, I can make an impact. But you're not consistent with asking certain questions, with not consistent with putting your routine together, then some days are going to be down, some days are going to be high. But I found that, okay, if I can just get one sale with here, or I can just do this, then I will be successful. And that's the reason why I was successful, because I put that in place. It wasn't because I felt good every day, but it was because I put something in place to make sure that I can be consistent and disciplined every day, right? And because of that, I ended up getting hired on the Verizon corporate end, from working Verizon within Best Buy to now they seen what I'm doing in Best Buy, and now I became a contractor. Making 4 times the amount of money I was working there. So again, your discipline and your talent gonna make it away from you. Number two, and I just kind of hit it on this: your daily habits create your future. Your future is being built by the habits that you have right now. So, for instance, like I said, I'm working out every day, right? Since January, done lost almost 50 pounds. It should be about 50, probably down by 50, the full 50 pounds by next week, maybe more, maybe 60. But it's because I worked out every day, 4 o'clock Monday, Monday through Thursday, and then 11 o'clock on Saturday. That was my routine. Working out. I had a trainer, and then I'm also eating better, cutting out bread, make sure that I'm drinking water. Hey, boom. Consistent with my diet and also consistent with working out. And that's how I lost all those pounds. I was consistent. Every day I didn't feel like it. My body was hurting. I'm Sunday, I'm laying down, I'm like, man, how come I can't go to sleep, or how come I can't do this, or but I'm like, you know what, I just gotta push through it. I don't feel like doing it, but I'm just gonna push through. The food that you eat, the workouts that you skip, the excuses that you keep repeating, the time that you waste, like, your daily habits are gonna tell you what your future is. Like, I'm glad that I'm doing it now, because I told myself, okay, I want to be able to breathe better. I want to be able to walk better. I want to be able to feel good when I look at myself in the mirror, and I do. And every day that's continuing to keep getting better. And now I'm getting my family members involved. And that's because they see, hey, Lamar is doing this. Let me try to get on that type tip too. So me taking my taking my health seriously is also being able to have my family grab on to that. They kind of see the example, and now some of them are actually participating in that as well. Number 3, why consistency wins. Consistency beats the intensity. And what we mean by that is that you don't need to be perfect. You don't need one perfect day, because every day is not gonna be perfect. Like when you are, for example, when you're in the weight room, right, and you're doing the bench press, it doesn't have to be you don't have to have perfect form to get that work. Like when you're doing it, you can feel the burn, and when you're first starting off, it's not perfect, right? But what it is that you putting that work in, and that consistency of you being able to work, that helps you win. Especially like when that helps you burn, right? Your activity. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the exact angle, like, unless you're being a bodybuilder. But even bodybuilders, like, even them being perfect, that doesn't always work out, because again, everybody got feelings. All you need is to repeat your discipline. So if you're going to go to the gym and you're going to be losing weight, you need to say, I'm going to wake up every day at 7 or 8 o'clock or whatever it is. And do you workouts in the morning, or do you workouts in the evening? And you say, hey, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I can commit to, running a mile or two. Oh, when I go eat, let me not eat the bread, right? Or when late at night, let me take out the chips. Let me drink my water, or let me drink my probiotic water, or just cut something out, right? But you got to be consistent with that. It has to be your routine, and when you can do that, that'll help. Now, some days you might cheat and you might slip up, and you might have a big old thing of ice cream or whatever, but that won't hurt you as much, as because you have consistently put something in place, and you utilize your discipline to where you might fail one day, because it won't be a perfect day. But because you don't put those things in place, it won't harm you like you used to harm you, because you didn't have something in place, right? That difference between the person that lost that weight and the person that's trying to is that the person that has been losing weight has been more consistent, and that's where you at. And I've done that, right? Most people quit too early because they don't see immediate results. Again, it took me we from January to now is May, right? 4 months to see results, and I was going to see it. And every day, I seen maybe 1 or 2 pounds come down a week, and then, next week it might have been 10, 5. Like it be like that sometimes because your body goes through those adjustments. So you don't need instant gratification right then, but the more time that you put in, all that stuff adds up, and then you'll be able to see the work come out in the finished product, because it is a process. The mental transformation, that's gonna be like your biggest key, because you're gonna see that you're gonna cut certain things out, that you're gonna be steadfast on these things, and then when it comes to other things in your life, you're gonna be more disciplined with that. So yeah, we're talking about working out, but then it'll become, when you come times for you to be responsible. Maybe it's taking the trash out, right? Taking the trash out, or you clean up around the house, or somebody asks you to do something and you're more responsive than you ever been, and that's because you got a routine in place. So you mentally are doing better in life because you're tackling one thing, but that one thing that you're tackling is helping you out in other aspects of your life, right? So with me, when I start getting better with my discipline on working out, I was more organized. My place was a little bit cleaner. My conversation was a little bit better, and I could do things better because I put one thing in my life, I line that up, and then everything else kind of start falling back into place. And I think this is why the journey is bigger. I think sometimes the journey is bigger than just the weight loss, right? It's because it is because it transforms your mind. The weight loss depicts the mentality, because now that I've seen that, I can lose this weight, what else can I do, right? So I wasn't making videos like 5 or 6 months ago. I wasn't doing it. You guys can look at the channel. I wasn't doing that. But now that I got more consistency in my life when it comes to working out, now you see more consistently with me posting these videos and talking more about my story and how my story can help you all out as well. So but it's a mental thing. And so now you're seeing that with my weight, and then you're seeing that with the videos, and then you're going to be seeing that in my business, and sooner or later then you're going to see that in my relationship, right? Well, I don't have one now, but that's coming as well. I'm working on that. So everything lines up, and it's because of the mental aspect. But the biggest thing is that I want to tell you guys that your talent, and again, your talent is going to open up the doors. My ability to speak, that's going to help open up the doors, right? But my discipline is going to keep me there. Even when the motivation failed, my discipline is going to keep me into the successful pocket that I'm in right now. Your future belongs to the version of you that refuses to quit. So again, like I said, if this is a change that you want to make into your life, you're at the right spot. I'm LarryMotivates. Let's work.